In this lecture 5.3, we will go into how the company can work with the sustainable marketing parameters, the classical 4 Ps, now with a CSR angle to them. You will get to know each of these parameters and what more goes into each and every one of them. Starting with what is the classical marketing mix, or the mix of the 4 Ps. It's coming here. It's the product, price, the place, and promotion. And this is a set of tactical marketing tools that the company blends to produce the response it wants in the target market, or the response it wants from the customers. So these are the tools a company can use when it addresses and get in contact or sell something to the customers. Starting with the product. A sustainable product is one that provides environmental, social, and economic benefits over its full life cycle. This we have covered in several of the other lectures throughout the course. Products here also can be both physical and service products, or it can be a mix of the two. So instead of addressing yet again what could go into a sustainable product, how you design good sustainable products or work with that, we'll go into the topic of packaging. That is an important part of the product, and it can be worked with in different ways when it comes to CSR considerations. It can be the materials used for the packaging. It can be to reduce the amount of packaging. It can also be the proper packaging it must be considered in the context of the design and manufacturing of the product. The packaging across the life cycle of the product, what should happen to it when we have taken off the packaging? Can it then be reused or something? And also packaging is about communication. Another aspect of sustainable products is eco-labels. Eco-labels tell consumers about certain environmental or social standards the product complies with. There's a big variety and types of eco-labels. According to ISO is a international quality organization, but according to the ISO standard on eco-labels, it's called 14020. There are 3 major categories of eco-labels. Type 1 is third-party claims, are awards given by a third party requiring a product to meet certain independently set criteria. So here someone from the outside come and say, you should live up to all these criteria, then you can have this label. That was type 1. Type 2 is green claims, and those are the manufacturers or retailers' own declaration. So they say this lives up to this and this and this, according to ourselves. Type 3 labels are environmental declarations that quantify information about a product based on life cycle impacts. It's kind of like a nutrition label found on food products, just for different environmental standards. This is just to give you, there's a lot of different examples of different eco-labels in this image. So it's just to present some of them to you. You might know some of them already. Price. Pricing the product right is crucial, green or not green. And it should be easy, but it's not. Several aspects should be considered when you set a price. Of course, the cost for the company. You have to get your cost covered, plus have an earning. Remember, we also have the economic sustainability, the economic part of the triple bottom line. So there has to be an okay financial aspect of the selling the product, producing and selling the product. But they can also be from the customer's perspective. Here we have two aspects: the perceived financial value. This has to do with the total value that the customer is getting from the product or service, or the customer gets out of having paid a certain price for a product. Then we also have the perceived ethical value. This does not really have something to do with the product itself, but rather with the claims that the product makes. For instance, how much does the consumer value the environmental and social guarantees the product is making? This is a perceived ethical value. Finally, when we set prices, what is the competitor's price and what's the market price? There's no simple formula to pricing. You just have to dig in there. Place. Place is about the distribution of our products, and it's marked up here in our supply chain drawing. Classical distribution is through a wholesaler and or a retailer, or it can be direct to the customer as well. Distribution, and especially retailing, has a huge impact on consumers and the consumption that we all have. And the influence can be through different aspects of, for instance, the retailing. It can be the store management. How sustainable is the store itself? It's the site location. Where is it placed? Is it difficult to get to, or do you need a lot of transportation back and forth to go there? Where products come from, the distribution channel also decide on which product they have in the store. They can eliminate unsustainable products. They can also educate the customer in how to use different products in a sustainable manner. Where the product is being placed. So if you have all the good fruit and vegetables in the bottom, in the corner of the store, so they are hard to find, that is not to promote sustainable fruit and vegetables, for instance. How the product is being sold, and also the presentation of products in store has a lot to do with what we buy. Finally, there's a topic of reverse logistics. So the store or the distribution channel makes it possible for us as consumers to take back our used product. So it can go back into a circulation. An example here is American Walmart, one of the world's biggest retail chains, that they have 10,000s of suppliers. They have 2 million customers each week at 10,000 retail units in 27 countries, and they have more than 2.2 million associates. With this size and with this amount of suppliers and products and customers, they can influence people and their buying behavior on a very, very high level. So if Walmart decides on sourcing, having products in their stores with a certain chemical out of the product, then it makes a big impact. So they have a huge decision power, but also a huge influence on what we actually buy. Finally, there's new ways of distributing. Here I want to add another example of the Indian company Hindustan Unilever. They decided to change the way they distributed and to skip the normal way of a wholesaler and a retailer in a distant part of India. Instead of this classical way of a wholesale and retail system, it recruited more than 65,000 women in villages. And this huge number of women are guaranteed some microloans and are trained in door-to-door sales of soap, cleaning materials and other products. The women almost doubled their income, And access to sanitary products in the villages improved public health. And since 2012, the project has produced a surplus turnover of more than $100 million. So Unilever is now launching similar products in other parts of the world. So there is new ways of thinking here with new ways of distributing. Finally, we have promotion. This is about the communication of the company, the product, and the service. And branding considerations, social marketing, course-related marketing, as we have already addressed. It's a huge topic, promotion. Here I'll just point to some message consideration you should do when you want to communicate and promote sustainable initiatives. Balance between promoting as sustainable or promoting yourself as being CSR focused, and balance that with the greenwashing aspect. So it don't say too much either, so it's not being misunderstood. The next point is you can never be 100% sustainable, or can you be? It can be very difficult because there's so many different issues, so there could always be something that is not maybe totally sustainable. So the best thing and the best advice is in your promotion and communication, be honest and open. Also with the difficult topics and the areas that are not sustainable. It's better to be open with them and say, we are aware of these aspects, we're working on it, we'll try to solve it, or whatever there is to be said about it. Also have in mind media mix considerations. You have a lot of different channels to use in your communication. It's from the information on the packaging, can be on your homepage, on social medias, in your PR, in your different advertising, the TV spots, etc. Finally, it can be an idea to consider using a formal and recognized reporting template for all your different CSR initiatives. And there's two that are quite recognized and used globally. The one is Global Reporting Initiative, and it's simply to go to the homepage and see more about it. They have some very good reporting standards that you can follow and be inspired by. And then there's a UN Global Compact that also has reporting standards and topics you should address when you want to work with CSR. Both these organizations are relevant and useful in the company's work with sustainability. It's not just about communication. So the role of marketing on the sustainability agenda, we have taken out some of the aspects. There are many more, but we can consider marketing on one side as the supervillain, as the function that always want to sell more products, no matter whether they're good or bad. It's just about selling products, having growth, selling more products, bigger market shares, etc., no matter the product. So that's a supervillain aspect of marketing. You can also have the superhero approach, because you also have the power with marketing to promote and develop cleaner products and influence the buying behavior so it goes in a sustainable and CSR direction. So with this superhero, supervillain image, we'll conclude this lecture 5.3 and also conclude the whole module 5. So these are the sources we've been using.